everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again today. If you're new, I'm Sam and I do all things Disney. So if you love Disney just as much as I do, then please consider subscribing to the channel, joining my Disney community. I would absolutely love for you to stick around. So today, if you have clicked on this video, you more than likely want to get some top tips on how to save for a Florida trip. I have actually done a video on this over a year back now. It must be nearly 2 years back, on how to save for your Florida trip. But as we all know, the economy in the UK especially has changed massively and we are in a crisis. The cost of living has gone up massively, so we have to make sure that we are saving for the big things, because if we don't, we have no hope these days, because everything's going up. Gas, electric, water, everything has gone up. So it is hard to save for the things you really, really want. For me, if it wasn't for saving, I could not at all be able to go on a Florida trip. It would be impossible. No one has got a large amount of money in the bank. Well, probably 95% of our country hasn't got the funds straight away to pay for a Florida trip. They have more important things to evaluate and take into consideration. So I'm going to be giving you some top tips of what I do personally. These are just things I've done and what my family's done, is just to keep costs down also, but also able to chuck as much as I can into the saving pot, so I can afford a Florida trip for my family. These are massive, like, bucket lists for me. I never thought I'd be able to take my children to Florida. I didn't have a wealthy upbringing. I never went to Florida. I never even went to Disneyland. I never even went to my local theme parks when I was a kid. So I always wanted to give my children what I never had. So I make sure I put everything into my penny pot so I can do this for my children. So I'm going to be giving you, I've got 10 top tips here, but if I think of anything else, I will add it into this video as well, because every tip counts and may be able to help you. So the first thing I'm wanting to say is time and what year you're actually going to be going. The reason I'm saying it's time is because you need enough time to pay for this holiday. And year, you need to figure out what year you're going to want to go, so you can figure out how much time you've got. So the reason I'm saying this is because when me and my family go on a Walt Disney trip, if I want to go, say this year, we're going October 2022, I was planning in 2020, saving in 2020 to do now. We did have a holiday, we did have a Florida holiday booked last year, but it was right at the end of the last year. It didn't happen because obviously people had to be vaccinated and all of that jazz, so obviously it did get moved and everything. But what I'm trying to say is that you need to have enough time to pay for your holiday. I've been putting money away, paying this holiday off for the past 18 months. It is a massive amount of months. It's a massive amount of cost each month, and I have to make sure that I've put that money away each month so I can pay it at the end of every month, ready for when we having to pay the full balance, basically. And if you're not quite sure of the time and the year, you might be cut short, because if you go and say, oh, I've booked a holiday for 2023, that's all well and good and that's really exciting, but are you going to have enough money to pay it off in 2023? For example, if you're going in August 2023, you're going to want to have to get that holiday paid off for at least March time. That's going to be your due date. So what I'm trying to say is that you need to be realistic on times, years. Make sure that you've evaluated how much you can put away each month, so you've got enough months to pay off the holiday. It is, I know it's really kind of like, oh, I want to go next year, but realistically sometimes people have to wait 4-5 years to pay for this holiday. so they can go. That's the reality we live in now. If you want to do these bucket list trips, we have to save for them, and everyone knows we have to save for the big things. Okay, the next thing I wanted to share with you, and that is a budget. The reason being is budget is a massive thing for me, and if I'm going to be saving for this holiday, I need to make sure that obviously I've got enough time to pay for it, but the budget has got to be right as well for me to afford it in the first place. I know for a fact when it comes to holidays, they fluctuate in price. So the earlier you can book it, the less chance you've got for it to go up in price. So if you are wanting to go in 2025, some companies, not every company does it, but you can pre-book in advance. I think Ocean does it. I think they do it for 2025. You just wouldn't be able to add on your flights, which that's where you have to really kind of evaluate your costs when it comes to the flights. But always make sure that you've got your budget. So for an example, your budget is £9,000 to go on your Florida trip. Obviously it would cost that much if you are a family like we are. So if your budget is £9,000, you need to make sure you are telling the person you are booking your holiday. So if it's Walt Disney Travel Company, if you're ringing them up, you need to tell them your budget of how much you can actually afford, so they can evaluate whereabouts on property you can stay at Disney, or if you will have to go and stay in a property out of Disney, because you can get some really good resorts what are out of Disney property but still have all the links, like the transportation to the park still, and you might be able to get it for a more affordable price. So always make sure that you have got a budget in mind, write it down, get all of your sums together of how much you can afford each month before you actually book the holiday, because then you know you've got a sense of clarification that you can afford it. You've done your sums, you know how much you need to put away each month. Make sure that budget don't go over. It's so tempting when you're on the phone to Walt Disney World and they're telling you all these beautiful resorts you can have and how beautiful it would be to go into deluxe and all this, but need to keep your head screwed on, think realistic and keep to your budget. So the next thing I wanted to share with you, and it's very similar to the last one I showed you, and that is affordability. Because if you have got a budget of £9,000, your affordability may not stretch that far. So for an example, if your wages are £1,000 a month, for example, £1,000 a month you get every month, and you are wanting to put £400 away each month for your holiday, affordability may not even let you do that. So that's why I always say that always look at your sums, look at your outgoings, look at your ingoings, and see your realistic amount of what you're actually going to be able to pay. So for an example, if you only get £1,000 a month and you want to put £400 away each month for this holiday, you're going to have to do that for, say, 18 months. Are you going to be able to afford that? Is unexpected bills going to be put out of that? Always make sure that you have your affordability of what you can actually afford each month. And that comes on to the next one I'm actually doing, and that is realistically saving. So like I've said into the last one, your affordability has to weigh up of how much you can realistically save. So say if you get £1,000 a month, you really want to push yourself to £400 saving, you may have to down it a little bit to have made £300 a month, but then you need to think about of your budget on the overall holiday as well. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is how we're actually going to keep encouraged on how to save the money, because we all know if you're putting a large amount of money each month into the saving part for that holiday, what's 2 years away, sometimes you can get a little bit backtracked. Oh, I'll just take some money out of there and we'll go on a day trip, or we'll go on that nice trip away, or we will go and have that nice meal out. We'll put it back in next month. It doesn't happen, guys. It does not happen. I've been there. I've done that. So the next thing I'm wanting to talk about, and that is sacrifices. To get this money on an average income, you need to sacrifice some luxuries in your life. So for an example, myself, I don't smoke. I barely drink. I only drink if I go to a wedding or a party. So I don't buy alcohol in the house. I don't do nails, so I don't go to the salon and have my nails done. I just kind of leave them like this, or I paint them myself. I do my own hair. Last time I went to a salon was last year at some point, so about 10, maybe 12 months back, and that was only because I think I was going away or something silly. So yeah, I do my own hair, I do my own nails. I don't have my eyelashes done. These are just stick-on ones from Primark for £1. I really don't spend much money on makeup. Sometimes I will treat myself to a really nice palette, because I really love to do my eye makeup. But apart from that, I'm very low cost in that sense. I won't go to the salon and spend hundreds of pounds on stuff what is going to be need to be redoing in a couple of weeks time. For me, it's just not I just don't do it. I just really don't do that kind of thing. I think having my nails done is an absolute waste of money. Every 4 weeks they need doing, and spending £40 a month on nails just doesn't seem cost effective to me. I just don't do it. The only thing I do really spend my money on, and I spend my money a lot, is my collection. So my ears, my lounge flies, I spend an awful lot of money on them. And if I didn't, obviously I'd put that into the holiday part. But that's my only kind of luxury I do. I don't spend it on anything else apart from that. Obviously my family is number one, and they get everything they want, obviously. But when it comes to me, I really will put costs down on things I really don't feel that I need, and that is my nails done, hair done. And when it comes to my collection, I share it with you guys, so I do get a little bit of money back on YouTube. So I do try and keep costs in that sense. So it's sacrificing the things what you could have done, but you can live without. So you could put that extra £40 a month away. So for example, if you didn't have your nails done for say £40 a month, that money could be going into the saving pot for your Florida trip. So it's little sacrifices like that. What you need to really take into account is, can I live without that so I can get that? And that's something I do, and it really helped us to pay our holiday trip. So the next thing I've really done as well, this is just a little tip I've done, and that is selling stuff. So for me, as you all know, I do buy lots of Loungefly, but if I'm not truly in love with that Loungefly bag and I've already shared it on my channel for you to enjoy, I would tend to sell it. Sometimes I'll get a little bit of profit out of it, not a lot though, or I sometimes just sell it for the retail price. Yet again, it's getting that bit of money where something's just laying around, you don't want any more, sell it on, let someone else enjoy it, and then you can have that money to go into the saving pot. Especially if it's like a Loungefly as well. If you don't want it, sell it. You may get 100 quid for it, put it into the pot for your trip. But it's not just that as well. Toys, clothes, like with us, we're a family and we get loads of stuff we just don't want. Get it into the car boot, get it into Facebook Market, eBay, all those things. Get that, even if it's just an extra 20 quid because you've sold a toy. It doesn't matter. get it into that savings pot. It all mounts up, guys. The next thing I'm wanting to share with you is, obviously you're on this journey for saving for your trip. So going out for luxury trips to Alton Towers or wherever is going to be a big strain if you are wanting to put a large amount of money away each month for your Florida trip. So what I would say is 3 days out. Yes, you're probably saying to me, look, I'm sacrificing so much already. I'm not having my nails done. I'm not having my hair done. But to be truthful, guys, if you are wanting this trip, sometimes that money, what you use for everyday kind of luxuries, has to be put aside for the holiday. It's the only way. So 3 days out is a really good way of getting your whole family out but not spending a lot at all. There is so many things out there what is free for the kids, and forest walks. There is loads and loads of parks out there what are free. Take a picnic with you. That probably the only thing you will be paying for is parking. Me and my family do lots and lots of forest walks. We go to like forest parks. We feed the ducks. We do lots and lots of things like that. And we as a family can't afford to go on a Florida trip and then go to Alton Towers for 5 nights or whatever, because the budget just doesn't allow it. You have to make the sacrifice somewhere, and you've got to remember that you're doing all of these free events, all of these 3 days out, because yes, you want to do something with the kids. Yeah, it may not be a trip to the zoo, it may not be something spectacular like that, but you've got to think of the end goal, and that end goal is to go to Florida, spend 2 weeks in Florida enjoying yourself, and it would be absolutely incredible. Make sure, guys, that you have those priorities there of what you truly want and strive for it. So the next thing I'm wanting to say, and this can be very difficult, especially when it comes to the children, that is family sacrifice. Now, it's so easy for yourself if you're the main person what's going to be putting the money away. You're the one that juggles the money every single month, and you kind of like put where things need to be. And sometimes it could be a lot easier for you to sacrifice bits, like I say, your nails, your hair. If you smoke, maybe stop smoking. But when it comes to children, sacrificing can be a little bit difficult because they want to go on this holiday, but they don't want to pay for it basically. And my children are probably a little bit of that as well. But what I do to get them involved, and that is very simple things, is if they have birthday money, Christmas money, all of that stuff, if they have it and they are just wanting to spend it on a toy, put that in a little pot for themselves for their Florida trip. So easy to do, and more than likely they will agree to it because they know they're going on that trip and they are wanting to get some stuff on that trip. So any kind of funds like that, stick in a little pot for them. Pocket money, maybe they want to pull 20p out of their pocket money. All of those kind of things really mount up for a really good sum for them to spend in the parks when it comes to going. Also, if they are wanting to do, in the UK, car boot sales are massive. We love a good car boot sale. And if they've got old toys, old clothes, anything like that, what they may want to sell themselves, take it to the car boot sale. You may get 20 quid for it, but it all mounts up for that special Barbie doll while they're in Florida. They may want to go to Bippity Boppity Boo boutique. That all mounts up. It costs a lot of money to go to those places. So those little things mounting up over 2 years, if you're saving over 2 years, stick it in that pot, and I'm for sure they will have a ton of money to spend in Florida when it comes to when they go. And the last thing I'm wanting to share with you, and this is probably really important for yourself, especially when it comes to the adults, we all need a little bit of motivation. We need that push to keep saving for the big things. And the thing what really helps me to keep me absolutely motivated all the time is having something visual. So a visual thing could be a picture of Walt Disney World Castle on your fridge, and you can see it, it's visual, but also you can have a saving chart, and a saving chart could be a shape of a castle, and then you could have all your targets of every time you've paid a lump sum into your savings, and you can colour it, you can print it out and colour it. There's so many different options. I will put a few like little examples here of what kind of things you can find online. Just go on Google and you will find stuff like this online. Make sure that you have some facts. Make sure you have something like that, very visual. It will come to be a how can I put it? For me, it comes to be a little bit of an obsession. I cannot wait to colour in that next section and make sure that target is going up and up and up. It really keeps me motivated. I'm a big saver myself. For an example, if I'm wanting a really expensive pair of ears, I make sure that I've saved and saved and saved. So if anything does come like to Walt Disney World, what I'd really like, I have to save for that, and I've saved for that for a long period of time. I always save for stuff what I don't even know what I'm saving for yet. That is how I'm able to really put my money where I want it to be. So yes, that is one thing you can do to keep yourself motivated, because it can be really difficult to just dip into that money when you want to get something nice. Also, what keeps me motivated, and this is just a little side hustle I do. For me, obviously, going to Walt Disney World, there is tons and tons of Walt Disney vlogs on YouTube. I make sure I go on Tim Tracker. I will go on to Victoria in Detail. There's so many other people what do Walt Disney vlogs. I will be as well once I do go to Florida, so make sure you are subscribed, and I will be doing it and sharing it with you on my channel, so make sure you are joined in, you've got the notification bell in so you don't miss out. But I make sure I go on their vlogs on YouTube. I watch the obviously I've been there before, but I just absolutely love just seeing the parks again and what news there. There's the 50th anniversary at the moment, and I really want to go there, and it really keeps me motivated to keep paying that holiday off. But as I speak this week, I've actually paid our Florida holiday off. The full cost was over £11,000, and I did that over 18 months. It wasn't easy, you know, I had to sacrifice a lot to do this, but I've done it, and I'm so proud of me and my family for really pushing ourselves to achieve what we really want as a family. And we are able now, because we've sacrificed so much, to go in October on our Florida trip and feel proud that we've done that. And for me as a mum, by not smoking or having my nails done or my hair done, or just really, you know, sacrificing so much, I've been able to do it. And if I can do it on basic wages, I'm sure you can do it, even though the cost of living has gone massively. But even if you can't do it right now, there's nothing saying that you can't do it in the future. So never ever take it off your list to do, because one day it will happen. It just takes a lot of planning. Even if you've got to not plan it for another 8 years time, put that little bit of money away and you will get there, guys. So guys, that's all I've got to share with you today. I hope this has helped you. I hope it's gave you some push to maybe do it yourself. Maybe you are wanting to do it in the future but not quite yet. Maybe you can't afford it just yet. But I hope I've helped you to give you some little tips of what I've done, a little tip what you could do as well. And yes, let me know in the comments, are you wanting to go to Walt Disney World? Let me know if you have took anything from this video and you would really like to put it into practice yourself. And yes, just leave me a little thumbs up as well. It really helps other people to find this video, and it may be able to help other people. I love helping people on their journeys of saving, especially saving for their Walt Disney trip. It is something I'm passionate about. I love Disney, as you all know. So yes, I hope this has really helped you. So everyone, that is all I've got. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.